Hi there, I'm Tom. Welcome to Tom's Grinder Lab. I have something I think is a little special for you today. It's the Hauk Vibra. It won the Specialty Coffee Association Best New Product Award in 2024. I think it's a masterpiece of precision engineering. Let's have a look at the item in question. This is it here, the Hauk Vibra. You'll see just down here. And interesting thing this. This was actually created originally by a guy. Oh yeah, make sure you subscribe. We've got lots of interesting content coming your way, especially some value performance machines out of unknown manufacturers from China. So make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned and get notifications. Now, back to the Hauk. So here, let me introduce you to Alexander Negros, who is here intently studying the Vibra held by Otto Hauk. So the story is that Alexander, who has actually got a PhD in mechanical engineering specializing in fluid dynamics and heat and mass transfer, remember those two words, kind of discovered his passion for espresso maybe 12 years before this video has been recorded, and he wanted to make espresso preparation easier for his wife. She didn't want to have to do all the sort of fancy needling thing and, cups and tumblers and, tampers and so on and so on. So he developed what we now call the Hauk Vibra. So there was one item, and you could compress, you could distribute the grounds within a puck basket, and you could compress them like a tamper would do, a two-in-one tool, if you like. So he met Otto Hauk, who managed to launch the product within 12 months of actually discovering it. Launched in 2024 and actually took out the SCA award, the Specialty Coffee Association Award, for Best New Product of 2024, which is no mean achievement. So there is something to this, other than the fact that it is an absolutely, I think, one of the very best feels handcrafted, precision engineered piece of beauty. Does it work? Well, we're going to find out. SCA clearly thought it did, and they know a bit more about coffee than I do. So as always, we'll have a look at the summary, go on to the key specs and features. We'll have a look at it in action in the Grinder Lab. I'll let you know what I like about it. I'll let you know what the limitations are from my perspective and who I think it is best for. Rock and roll. So summary, what is it? It is a vibrating distributor of coffee grounds. Now, if you saw the video before this one about WTT and preparation, then you know how important it is that the grounds in your coffee basket are distributed evenly, both vertically and horizontally, so you don't get channeling, and therefore you avoid sour notes or bitter notes, or sometimes two in the same cup. Now, this device is designed to achieve that distribution of those particles evenly across the basket, and it also doubles as a self-leveling tamper. And if you know from my videos, you know I'm a big fan of self-leveling tamperers because they have an edge on it that sits on top of the basket, and it's much harder to mistamp and end up with one side that's lower than the other and therefore more dense, and you get the bitter flavors through that and the sour flavors on the other side. So it's a vibrating distributor, and it's a self-leveling tamper all in one. I've made a bit of a song and dance about this next one, which I should also. Best New Product SCA, Specialty Coffee Association Award 2024. I think it's a very effective top of puck distributor, and I'll show you how I use it in a moment. Works best, I believe, with a WDT method before now. Hauk and Alexander will claim that it takes the place of WT. It does the WT, the distribution of the grounds evenly, vertically, and horizontally. To be fair, they may be using it in a way that I have not used it, so it may very well do that very effectively. I personally find that it's best used as like a distributor tamper, so that just you flatten the top of the surface and then you can tamp all in one. For that, I think it's exceptionally good. So what else? Beautiful aesthetics, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I mean, honestly, the curves on this thing, the steel, the shapes, building something that's square and flat is pretty easy. Building something that has curves on it, timber, steel, high quality, it's just beautifully designed and highest quality components, precision engineered. It really doesn't get better than the Hauk Vibra. I saw an exhibition of Da Vinci, who was obviously an artist, but also a creator. I think he would have been very proud to have come up with this if espresso was a thing in his day, because it combines art and science. So anyhow, that's sort of the helicopter view, the summary, which I always like to do at the front so you don't have to scroll to the end. Key specs and features. This is the boring stuff, but let's go through it. It's 500 grams It's 100 mil in length, it's 70 mil wide, height. You'll see it on my bench in a moment, 94 mils. Immersion depth will go down, the tamper will go down 35 mil. So if you want a deeper bed for some reason from the top of the basket, it'll handle that just fine. Now the base diameter is 58.45. I don't quite know why I've got 58 in there, but I think you can get two variations. The 58.45 is really a nice, tight, snug fit that still allows you to get depth in a basket, whether that's a straight-walled high extraction basket or a more standard basket. It does the job very well in terms of tamping because of this little 0.5 here on the end. The 58 tampers tend to slop around a little bit. This one does not do that. It's been exceptionally well designed. Materials are wood and stainless steel. That is it. It is a battery charged device. The batteries are rechargeable. CR123A, which means you can just buy them from Amazon or eBay or wherever else and replace it once it does need to be. And some of the kit that comes out, you know, some of these, for example, the portable espresso machines, the batteries are proprietary and it's not so easy just to buy them off the shelf and plug them in. No problem with this one. I've done it myself once the batteries ran out. This is just, let me step out of the way because these are things of beauty, I believe. This is a part of the range, and you see that it comes in different colors, timbers. I have the oak one. I think it's just a thing of beauty, but if you want to pimp it up a bit, there are options galore to be able to do that in the Hauk store. So let's have a look at the Hauk Vibra in action. As per my recommended WDT technique video just published, I'm going to grind directly into the tumbler, shake 15 times. It's not a magic number. 10 is probably fine. 20 would be probably even better, but 15 seems to work quite well. And then that's going to go into the basket. And normally what I would do is I would level that a little bit, give it a tap, and then use the puck rake. But what I do find to be very effective is using the Vibra as both a distributor of the grounds across the top and as a tamper. Now, as I mentioned before, it's a functional piece of art. It's high precision. The components are of world-class quality. You're not going to get a more precisely engineered nor a more perfectly crafted device for your coffee than this. So that's what I'm using it for. It's a self-leveling tamper. It's got the edges around the top so you can't mis-tamp, if you like. And it's pretty much a perfect piece of functional art. And there we are. There's the very little in the way of retained grounds on the actual tamper, which is nice. So everything's been really well thought through, and it's just a joy to pick up and use because it's precision and because it's a piece of art, and also because it works really well. And it saves me messing around with a puck rake. So if you want slightly better improved workflow and still top WDT, do bear in mind it's only distributing the top of the puck. The hard work of distributing should have been done when you were shaking. 15 and then a slight tamp, as I said, using the Hauk. That's how we use it. So I probably should point out that that little button at the top is what activates the vibration. So the whole thing will vibrate when you push that button. It has different modes, so different vibration styles, if you like. And again, bear in mind that as per the previous video on WDT and puck prep, I'm doing kind of the blind shaker thing, but I'm shaking the coffee grounds in the dosing cup 15 times, and that distributes it really well, and then into the basket, and just finishing it off with the vibrator and then the tamp using the 2-in-1. Should also say this was sent to me for a review. I didn't have to pay for it, but I also don't get affiliate commission or anything on sale. So hopefully you'll agree that what I'm telling you about the tamper from my own personal experience is reasonably objective, even though I must admit, fallen in love with this thing. I'm a sucker for a pretty face. So what do I like about it? I do like the fact that it's a quality and a precision. You get a piece of kit on your bench, and workflow is not number one for me. The number one is what's happening in the cup. That's number one. That's the determinant of the thing, whether I should buy a thing or not. But after in the cup, I really gain value from an item that is carefully crafted, carefully designed, and works very well. The quality and the precision is something that I gain value from, is what I'm saying. The aesthetics as well, I've touched on that. The fact that it's self-leveling is a big plus. Rechargeable batteries, I like that. You don't have to order a proprietary one. generic, easy to replace batteries. These are two different items. And one tool distributes and tamps. Now, limitations. Bear in mind that I've used this and I may not have used it in the way as per manufacturer specification. So you should check out the Hauk website. I'll put a link underneath the video below. It is an expensive piece of kit, but I don't think any apology should be made for that because it is precision and it is just top quality. And I can't even begin to understand how they managed to engineer this thing with all the curves on it, but it's startlingly well done, and it's something that I think you would value and appreciate having on your bench. Having said that, as I mentioned, I don't get any affiliate commission for this. I'm just recommending it because I'm kind of smitten by it, I suppose. Limitations. So I don't think it's as good as distributing the grounds vertically, up and down, as opposed to horizontally. Do follow the manufacturer's specified recommendations. Check out the videos on the Hauk website, as I said, link below. I would prefer less options in terms of the vibrating patterns. Just give me the one that you think works best, but that's just me, maybe. Suspect that it consolidates clumps. I have a concern about this. This is definitely not something that's validated, but I think it probably works best if you have a grinder that produces fluffier clumps. Having said that, if you do a good job of the shaking, then that should no longer be an issue. So that's just the asterisk there. Kind of a question mark if you like. But in terms of if you follow my technique or use the magic tumbler and you're getting rid of any of the clumps before you dump it into the basket, then this asterisk item here should not be an issue for you. If, however, you have a grinder that produces a lot of clumps, and you'll know it'll just sit there in the basket, there'll be at least clumps there, and you're not doing a shake of the dosing cup, then this may just consolidate those clumps, I feel. But as I said, it may not be an issue for you. Some grinders produce clump-free grounds, and that's where the Hauk Vibra works best. And if you combine it with the shaking, then you're home clear on that as well. So that's my take on the Hauk Vibra. Who is it best for? I think it's best for you if you want to minimize faff because you've got one distribution, one tool to finish the distribution and to do the tamping. If you value beauty and precision, then this is definitely something that would be worth the investment for you. And for those who either have grinders that produce clump-free grounds or you're following the magic tumbler shaking technique, then this will work very well for you as well. I hope this has been interesting for you. I hope you have a look at the Hauk website because I think the science and the art that's gone into this device and the quality commitment has been 100%. There's no corners compromised. Comes in a little wooden box in a kind of a Hessian sack of its own. So the whole thing from A to Z is very well thought through. And as you can probably tell, I'm a fan. So that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this little video. And as always, if you want to up your game in terms of espresso, get yourself over to tomsgrinderlab.com. Make sure you download my free troubleshooting guide and optimization guide for espresso. Enjoy your coffee, tell all your friends, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.